بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to Him, and peace and blessings be upon His beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I do bear witness that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is His messenger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Quick, very important highlights. This is the fourth or fifth or sixth, I don't know exactly, fourth of Tafsir session. Basically what we are doing, we are trying, inshallah, to give a very simple interpretation for the Quran in English language, in a simple language that inshallah will enable you from one angle to understand Quran in a easy way, and inshallah it is designed in a way that is that inshallah will help you to present Islam for non-Muslims in a very simple way from one angle. Now, so please, a quick reminder, do your best to watch anything previously we have highlighted if this is your first time. Do your best to sit at home, because and write notes. Just keep listening will not make real ilm. Real ilm, you need to listen, you understand, you comprehend. However, if you want to accumulate a methodology, a lot of knowledge, well-established understanding, you need to review, to read, to look again, put notes, think, highlight, ask, discuss. This process will make the ilm in your. It's not just listening. If you kept just listening without reviewing, writing, noting, briefing, you will not achieve ilm. Just do your best. Now, and always I keep saying, Jazakumullah khair, respected brothers and sisters, we are living in a country, the majority, they don't know Islam. Unfortunately, mainstream media in many countries around the world, they don't present the reality of Islam. So it's your duty, my duty, to keep telling the people about what Islam is. In addition to the fact that it is a practical application and every one of us should be a model of Islam. However, the most powerful thing when presenting Islam is a true, authentic knowledge about Islam. Because al-jahl, ignorance, is a destructive element against anything. So Islam is based on ilm. So if you want really, because from one angle, you will be enjoying your religion while applying it if you understand why, what, when, how, and when you explain it to others, you never know. And I remind you with this simple introduction with hadith al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فرب مبلغ أوعى من سامع رحم الله امرأ سمع منا مقالة فبلغها كما سمعها فرب مبلغ أوعى من سامع. May Allah descend His mercy upon a person who heard something from us, then he conveyed this to others. It might be the case that the one who received this knowledge will be able to comprehend and to get benefit from the knowledge more than the conveyor himself, more than the means of transmitting the information. So you might be a reason for someone to be a alim, even though you yourself you are not a alim. You just told him about something you heard, he was touched. Because of you, he started being concerned about the ilm. He became a Muslim, or a Muslim became much more aware. Then he decided to seek a true knowledge. He became a big alim. You are the reason. فَرُبَّ مُبَلِّغٍ أَوْعَى مِنْ سَامِعٍ. And under the umbrella of these meanings, we will continue. Last time we finished about 60% of Al-Fatihah. Quick reminder, we tried to give an idea about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave an amazing emphasis on the value of a Fatiha. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِ وَالْقُرْآنَ الْعَظِيمِ. Even though Al-Fatiha is part of the Quran, yet Allah described the Fatiha as if it's by its own, it's something unique, and the whole Quran is something else. And we said that we recite Al-Fatiha how many times compulsory? 17. If we want to do just a Sunan al-Rawatib, 27 times minimum. What is the secret? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala قال ذكرها في معرض الامتنان. Allah is telling Prophet Muhammad and the followers of the deen of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in terms that Allah is giving us like a favor with this great treasure, Al-Fatiha. What is Al-Fatiha? It briefs. It's a summary. It's a conclusion for everything inside the Quran itself, by the way. Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. It tells you not to send, not to feel, not to uphold, not to hold inside yourself any kind of praise except to Allah. This is the first step of removing any possibility to be, directing yourself except to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we covered, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, the importance of the concept of Al-Malik and Al-Malik. And we highlighted last time the importance of Yawmuddin. What is the Yawmuddin? And the great idea of that we have in Islam, which is the turning point of you in this worldly life and the final destination of every single of us. It's Yawmuddin, the day of judgments, the day of accountability. And we said how important it is to be connected with the one who is controlling and who is the king of that day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what we have done last time. Now, today inshallah, I will remain part of Al-Fatiha. I will cover what has been remained from Al-Fatiha. Then I will start with chapter Al-Baqarah بإذن Mawla Azza wa Jal. Now, last time we reached to the concept of اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Look, Allah is teaching us how to direct our worship, if you remember, just to Allah, not to anyone or anything else, because some people might be worshipping people or things. So it depends. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Now the word إياك, which means حصر وقصر, which means exclusively. We do not worship anything except you, Ya Allah. Something I already have done it tens of times, but I have to repeat it very quickly. When we say worship, إياك نعبد, we are not talking just about ritual worship. Please let it be clear in our mind. Rituals, sha'air, طقوس, such as doing the prostration, sujood, or doing the prayer itself, when you do this kind of prayer, or when you do perform hajj or umrah, or when you fast. All of these actions are called ritual worships. عبادات شعائرية, which means you do a certain of worship in a certain manner, you repeat some certain things in a pattern, okay? Like, for example, in Christianity, they have طقوس, such as going to the church, doing some certain things, saying some certain prayers, the same thing. This is called rituals, okay? Many Muslims, once the word ibadah, worship, is mentioned, their mind go to rituals. And when you say, MashaAllah, Fulan Abid, he's a worshipper, Alhamdulillah, I'm fulfilling my duty in terms of ibadah. What comes to the mind, what? Ritual worship, which is one of the biggest mistakes in understanding Islam. Ritual worship is just simple part of ibadah in Islam. The definition of ibadah is al-inqiyadu wal-khudu'u tammu duna adna shart. Linguistically, in Arabic language, when you say abada ya'bud, when you say fulanun ya'bud, means it is the one who has submitted himself to something without any kind of preconditions. So when you obey, when you submit yourself to anything, any person, you are called abid. That's why Prophet Muhammad said, Ta'isa abdud dinar. Wow unto thee, the one who worships the dollar or the dinar or the money. Definitely no one is putting a piece of coin and he's doing sujood. No. What is the meaning? He has submitted himself to the money. Metaphorically means he's doing anything for the sake of having the money without any kind of obstacles or preconditions. Just having the money. Haram, halal, permissible, not permissible. يجوز لا يجوز, I don't care. This is called عابد للدرهم. Worshipper. Okay? تعس عبد الخميصة. He said, الخميصة, it's a type of clothing. It's like in our language, تعس عبد what? الموضة. Like wow unto the one who's worshipping the fashion. Fashions. Look what happens with boys and girls now in terms of fashions. Whatever fashion says, they will do it, whether haram, halal, it uncovers the body, it exposes, who cares? Anyway, so when we say worship, it means submission to Allah without any kind of conditions of Allah. Not just doing the prayer or something. So when you say إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ, I am declaring 17 times minimum, 27 times or up to 40 times every day, oh Allah, I'm declaring that I'm just submitting myself to your will exclusively. It's a reminder for me, hey, it's prohibited for you to be a abid. What is a abid? The one who has submitted himself completely to what? Now you decide. If you have submitted yourself to a group of people, you are worshipping them. To an ideology, you are worshipping this ideology. To a party, political party, you are a worshipper of this. Allah is asking you to let Him be number one in terms of the priority of submitting to the commandments. And this is the meaning of Islam. What is Islam? Submission to the will of your Lord. Not ritually, every single aspect of your life. قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله. Say Muhammad, tell them, O Muhammad, let them know that they have to declare that my prayer, nusuki, the things, the worship that I do, the slaughtering that I do for the sake of Allah, mahyaya, my life, mamati, my death, everything I do in my life, lillahi rabbil alameen, wa bidhalika umirtu wa ana awwalul muslimin. And by this I've been commanded and I am the first of the Muslims, which means when you let every single aspect of your life goes according to the will of Allah, you will be a true Muslim, means the one who has submitted himself to the will of his Lord. This is the declaration of this meaning. How do we remind ourselves with this? By إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. It is a reminder, be careful. Nasta'een, it's only you that we seek refuge and ask help. It does not contradict, be careful, with asking help normally. It's your faith that who is the one who's controlling everything. When you ask the help of your doctor or your professor or the one just to heal you with your medicine, you know that وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينِ. If I became sick, it's Allah who gives the cure. It's His decision. But going to the doctor under the umbrella of realizing that Allah is the decision maker, if I may put it, and this is just أخذ بالأسباب. You do your best within the law, but your heart knows if Allah does not will you to have the cure, even if all medicine on earth is done for you, nothing will happen. So this is the meaning of إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نستعين. Then we go to اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Oh Allah, guide us to the straight path. طيب, what is the straight path? Oh Allah, guide us to the straight path. By default, you understand that we need guidance. We are asking for guidance, hidayah. Okay, show us. Now, the meaning of guide us, which means show us. Tell us what is it. Okay, ihdina, oh Allah, guide us to the straight path. Now, the straight path gives you an idea that there is a straight path. So in Islam, we do not accept what is called the relativism and nisbiyya. You know relativism? This is a very dangerous way of thinking. No, this is wrong. No, this is right. You know, this is something relative. This is something you think it's right. I think it's go. Okay, so both of you might be right, so no one is wrong. Okay, let's celebrate our differences. Hooray! Ta-ta-la-la-la, dun-dun. That's it. You know this way of thinking? When you apply this ultimately in everything in your life, you are calling to destroy the life. This happens, yes, in some certain areas, such as, is this juice delicious or not? What do you think? Yes or no? Maybe yes, maybe no. I think, you think, no problem. طيب. Is this object heavy or light?
Light.
For a child?
Light.
Relative, no problem. طيب, if I kept holding this for 10 minutes, 1 hour, 5 hours, no problem. Okay, you can apply relativism now, okay? This person is nice. No, he's tough. No, nice, tough. Tough, nice, tough. Yeah, no problem. We can differ. But, does Allah exist? Yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. Exactly, I don't know. Therefore, it's something relative. What do you think? So if you said Allah does exist, it's your point of view. If you said Allah does not exist, حبيبي تعال راح فين حبيب قلبي. Hey, you destroyed. No. We don't deal with such topics in this way. Or otherwise, no one on earth can judge anything in his life. Is the one who does not pay the tax willingly a criminal or not? Criminal or not? خلاص. والله relatively, you think, I think, which means go and close courts. طيب. Is the one who steals the money of other and hit them with his knife without any valid reason that he's not drunk and he's not something, a criminal or not? If you want to apply relativism, go and close all police stations on earth. No need for police. On what base you will call him a thief? On what base? You are judging him. Why are you chasing him? Come on. You can't apply this in everywhere. So here comes the very, very dangerous idea. This is applicable just in certain areas of relativism. Some certain things must be clear. Must be clear. Do you think your father is your father or not? I'm not joking. والله Allah شو بعرفني. Allah knows. Allah knows. يعني there is a possibility that all of us أولاد haram. Do you accept this? I'm not joking. The one who thinks in that way need to be asked with this question. What do you think? Come on. What's the color of this? For example, this board. What's the color? What's the color? Also, what is this color? From your point of view, I think it's red. What do you think? It's my right, يا أخي حر. Am I right or wrong? Do I have the right to think that this is red? This is white. It's a reality. It's not a relativism. So, wallahi, you think maybe I'm seeing it red because I have a problem in my eye. So I'm a sick person. Need it to be treated medically because I have a problem in my sight. But the reality that this is white, it's not your point of view. It is the facts. And by the way, I'm bringing just simple examples to tell you, you know why I'm telling you this? This you will be facing when I say, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Which sirat? Which path? Who knows what is the straight path? It's your point of view, my point of view, his point of view, her point of view. No one knows. You know, in Islam we don't have this, we don't accept this. We have a straight path and it is defined by Allah. قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني. This is my path. We have shara', we have text, we have nusus, we have wahi told us that this is right and this is wrong. This is haram and this is halal. We have an area of dispute, yes, limited, but not in everything. If in everything, you can't do nothing in your life. You can't judge anyone on earth in anything of your life. When someone comes to say, Ya akhi, everything is relative, you say, if everything is relative, okay? If you told me that you are an employee in that way, say, Allah knows if you're an employee. I deserve a salary. Allah knows. Maybe you deserve it, maybe you don't know. My name is Ahmad. Allah knows if you are Ahmad or Muhammad. No, I'm Muhammad. Allah knows. Nothing can be fixed in your life. So be careful when you are. Why I'm saying this? When we say Sirata Mustaqim, there is a clear existence for the straight path. And it is known in Islam. If I'm ignorant, it's not my problem. It's my problem that I don't know it, but not that it does not exist. Because escaping to the idea of relativism, from one angle, it is very destructive, and from one angle, you will achieve nothing in your life. So be careful. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. In a simple word. Now, O Allah, guide us on the straight path. Then more explanation to what the straight path is. It is the path of those whom you bestowed your blessings upon. And please, O Allah, don't let us from al-maghdub alayhim walad-dallin. Don't let us be from those. In Arabic, Allah did not define a specific group. He said, Sirat al-ladhina. Now, the word al-ladhina ism mawsul. Ism mawsul means it's a pronoun that covers everyone that is related to this category. It's applicable on him if the description is applicable on him. Which it covers anyone that fits with. Okay? Any group, any time, at any time up to the day of judgment. Al-ladhina. Oh Allah, guide us to the straight path. How do I know straight path? From the wahi, from the text, from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, from the Sahaba. طيب. Oh Allah, protect us from, okay, the others. Mean others, Allah gave us two categories. مغضوب عليهم ضالين. This is a category, not a specific group. You could imagine a specific group, but this is what? A category. مغضوب عليهم. Both of them, we ask not to be of them. What's the difference between them? Now, both of them, they went astray. They are outside the fold of Islam. However, al-maghdub alayhim, when you read the definitions, those people who knew the right in specific and deliberately they refused. Like Iblis. Do you think Iblis and anyone looks like Iblis? Like Fir'aun, for example. Fir'aun was ignorant. Miskeen. This is what he thought. When he said, أنا ربكم الأعلى. He said, ما علمت لكم. Look يا جماعة, look, بص شوف. Okay, والله I would do something good for you. I did my best. I made my research, but to the best of my knowledge, ما علمت لكم من إله غيري. I did my best, but the only God that I found for you is just myself. يعني what can I do? يعني عمي خلاص هذا. This is the end of my research. إيش هذا? Then he said, أنا ربكم الأعلى. I am your exalted Lord. هذا جاهل. يعني when he goes to the washroom, does not he know that he is not God? If you are God, just to try to recreate yourself and let yourself be living without need for water, and there is no need for food and no need to sleep and no need to go to the toilet. بس هاي لحالها. Can you stop yourself? يعني Mr. Fir'aun does not know. He knows. When he claimed and he did injustice, he was rude, fighting his Lord. This is from al-Maghdubi alayhim. Are you with me? Iblis. أنا خير منه. He was not aware. He was aware. Now, is this applicable on a groups of people in our time? The one who brings in some security forces in Arab countries, in some Arab countries, we know for sure, and we read about those and we met some of them, you go to some people who are tortured. They are tortured because they were accused that they did something bad against other religions. You discover that the security force themselves, they put the bomb in that temple and they killed the followers of other religions. Then they brought those Muslims, then they tortured them. The one who puts the bomb by his hand, does not he know that this tortured person is an innocent person? It's him who did it. طبعا he knows. When he tortured him, اعترف. You have to confess, يا عمي, I have done nothing. Wallah, I have done nothing. No, you are a criminal. You are a terrorist. But I am, while torturing him, I know that he is innocent because it's me who did it. طيب. Someone like this will say, Wallahi, I did not know. يا عمي, ما هو أنا اللي عملته. I am the one who did it. I can't claim that I don't know it. This is the meaning of al-maghdub when I say أنا غضيب الآن. I'm just giving you an idea. This is a category. It is applicable on religious group, applicable on ethnic group. It's applicable on political regimes. It's applicable on individuals. Oh Allah, don't let us from anyone that you have غضب against them. طيب الضالين, the one who went astray, الضلال. طب how do we go astray? أضل. Now, this is the straight path, hidayah, طريق المستقيم. Now, anything here or there is ضلال. Okay? ضلال is a little bit less than الغضب in terms of ضل. طب ضل maybe because of ignorance, but he is refusing following the knowledge or listening. Some ignorance, some maybe some kind of desires or ضلال. But both of them, they are in the category outside of Islam. I will not go through some, specific groups, that this group and that group. Yes, it could be applicable on many different groups, but we are asking Allah, Ya Allah, guide us to the straight path. Now, declaring the fact that, Ya Allah, guide me in itself, it means you are ready to receive the guidance. Okay? And this is the most important thing that we need to know about Al-Fatiha with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب. Now, I will start with Surah Al-Baqarah. As I told you, the new style of tafsir, we will not be going through every single ayah. We will go through some meanings, some groups of ayat, to the best of my knowledge, so that we can cover most of the Quran in the shortest time, inshallah. Now, chapter Al-Baqarah. Let's know some general information about Surah Al-Baqarah. Number one, we need to know the following, that this Quran contains 114 chapters. It took 23 years of revelation to be completed. And literally, it was sent as a revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Archangel Gabriel to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, literally. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Alif Lam Mim ذلك الكتاب. Exactly. It's what Prophet Muhammad heard from Jibril alayhi salam. Jibril told him Alif Lam Mim. Exactly. Because we take this with the sanad al-muttasil. Exactly. With the same sound, with the same mad, the amount of, stretching of the sound, the vowel, the length of the vowel. It's not just the word, it's the exact length of the vowel as a sound. Exactly. Okay? Tamam. It contains more than 6,000 verses, 114 chapters. It was revealed on the span of a time of 23 years. The biggest and the longest chapter inside this book is Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah Al-Baqarah is 286 verses, about 62 pages, more than 3 juz' of this Quran. And this the only chapter that has this huge length. Okay? Let's know the following as well. When we say Surah Al-Baqarah or Surah Al-Fatihah or Al-Imran or An-Nisa, these names or titles are tawqifiyah. You need to know this terminology. Tawqifi, it's a terminology. If you want to translate it literally, you will find no meaning. Tawqifi means the decision of that the name Al-Baqarah has been taken is by Allah, and Muhammad just told us about the name. It is not ijtihad, which means Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, after he received this huge chapter, he did not make counseling and he consulted the Sahaba. What do you think the best title for this chapter? Should it be X or Y or Z? They said, okay, there is the story of the cow of the people of Israel. Yalla, let's call it Al-Baqarah. Okay, yalla, let's... No. By the way, what I'm saying has been said by some Orientalists in their books. So be careful, okay? This is tawqifi. We believe Prophet Muhammad received from Jibreel alayhi salam. Al-Baqarah, that's it, okay? Now, what we need to know about this. قال أعلى نسبة أحكام شرعية, the highest number of Islamic teachings and rulings that exist inside Surah Al-Baqarah. And Surah Al-Baqarah, you need to know the concept, terminology of Madani and Makki, or Makki and Madani. Okay? Who knows the difference? My question is directed to the non-Arabs, specific. Please, Arabs, don't raise up your hands, okay? Just non-Arabs. Do you know the sound of, what does it mean to say Makki and Madani? Non-Arabs. Who knows? Yes, brother?
Well, Makki and Madani actually is before Hijrah and after Hijrah.
Before Hijrah and after Hijrah, Jazakallah khair. Yes. When you say Makki, it does not mean that the things that they were revealed in Mecca, no. Okay? And Medina, it's not just that we revealed in Medina, no. It tells you about what was revealed before Hijrah, before the migration, and after Hijrah. Okay? It gives you an idea because the characteristics of the Quranic chapters in the time of before the Hijrah, they have a unique, characteristics. They were establishing the Aqidah, the faith. So you rarely can find Ahkam Shar'iyya. You can't find Haram and Halal, do and not do. While when you go to the Madani, on top of them, chapter Al-Baqarah, you find what? Tens of verses about Islamic teachings, Haram and Halal, do and don't. So it's good to know these kind of differences. Now, I will give you a quick idea about the many topics that are covered inside Surah Al-Baqarah. And I will cover some of them. Surah Al-Baqarah, the most important thing that is mentioned, the very beginning, the first 2 pages, it highlighted the classification of the 3 main categories of human beings in sight of Allah. Number 1, believers. 2, non-believers. 3, hypocrites. It's not my definition, it's Allah's classification. Allah is telling that we have mu'mineen, kafirin, munafiqeen. The first 2 pages. Directly. This gives you an indication of what? From the very beginning, you need to know that you have these areas. Be careful. Be careful. والله ما كنتش أعرف. لا حبيبي بتعرف. You know from the very beginning. This is the definition of mu'mineen. This is the definition of the munafiqeen. And this is the... Be careful. Be from those. Don't ever come to the path of this and this. You are declaring all the time. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Immediately he gave you the descriptions of how to be believer, how to be a munafiq, and how to be a kafir. So be careful. It's like a knowledge, ta'rif. This is how to be. This is the catalog. والعياذ بالله. If you would like to be from this category, this is the characteristic. هاي المواصفات. So be careful from the very beginning. Now, then, one of the great important things Surah Al-Baqarah covers قصة بدء الخلق وآدم عليه السلام. The story of the beginning of the creation and Adam. From the very beginning, in Islam, we don't accept Darwinism. And by the way, Darwinism should not, Darwin himself, when he spoke about his theory more than 150 years ago or more, he himself was not an atheist. But now many atheists, they use Darwinism as a pillar to depend on because they can't explain the beginning of the creation. So they use Darwinism to talk about the beginning of the creation. So in this, the very beginning, Allah is telling us that it's Him who created Adam بأحسن تقويم. File is closed. Either you believe or you don't believe. And the story of Adam. Then, from the great stories in Surah Al-Baqarah, it gives you an idea about the great, the biggest, the head of the enemies of the believers. Who is he? You know Mr. Iblis? Satan? Mr. Iblis, from the very beginning, وإذ قلنا للملائكة اسجدوا لآدم فسجدوا إلا إبليس. نقطة. Allah is telling you, inside Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us an idea about a lot of passages about the debate between Muslims and the people of the book. The polemics, it's called jadal, you know, jidal about who's right and who's wrong. You believe, we believe. If you believe in such and such, how come you believe in such and such? You know, a lot of, so it teaches you the how to argue. It gives you the power how to prove your case from faith point of view. Surah Al-Baqarah. Another important topic, it gives a big idea about Ibrahim alayhi salam, and about Al-Kaaba and about Al-Qibla. Look at the beginning of the Quran. What the Quran is emphasizing. Ibrahim alayhi salam, Abul Anbiya, Millat Abikum Ibrahim. You know, the millah, like the Turkish word, they say the millat, al-sha'b, they say. On al-millah, you know, the way, the tariq. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the same path of Ibrahim عليه السلام. ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما. Ibrahim is mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah to give you that if you want to follow Ibrahim was a Muslim, literally. Ibrahim was, in terms of the definition of Muslim, means he is the one who submitted himself to the will of his Lord. So he was a Muslim and you are a Muslim. That's why Ibrahim alayhi salam, he is role model for us. Then Surah Al-Baqarah, from the great things that is covered, inshallah, try in 10 minutes to finish, inshallah. It contains a lot of Islamic teachings and rulings, such as, I will mention them very quickly in Arabic, just an idea to say how rich this chapter is full. Then I will explain the titles in English. Surah Al-Baqarah, تحوي موضوعات مثل القصاص، الدين، الوصية، الصيام، رمضان، الحج، الخمر، القمار، الزواج من غير المؤمنات، الحيض، الحلف باليمين، الطلاق، الرضاع، العدة، الوصية، الصدقة، الربا، القتال للدفاع عن النفس والقتال للدفاع عن المستضعفين. It's an amazing topics. All of these things, it's as if it tells you, look, this chapter, it is to tell you, this is the categories of the people, this is right and wrong, this is how to defend your faith, this is the straight path and the wrong path. Then these rulings and teachings, you need to use it to establish your existence as a system of life. Give a quick idea. Al-Qisas, you know, Al-Qisas, it's the punishment, especially in anything has to do with the body, such as injuries or cutting or chopping the hand or killing someone else. For example, ad-dain, debts, al-wasiyya, the will, الصيام, fasting, Ramadan, al-hajj, pilgrimage, al-khamr, you know, ahkam about drinking alcohol. Why? Why it's haram? Al-qimar, gambling, qimar al-maysir, الزواج من غير المؤمنات, you know, getting married from the non-believers. Even it covers, you know, the time of the period, the blood of the period of women. It's ahkam shar'iyya. It has to do with amazing impact in our lives. Al-half bil-yamin, when you have an oath, when you swear by something to say, by Allah I will do such and such. Al-talaq, divorce. Al-rada', breastfeeding. Al-wasiyya, the will. Al-sadaqa, donation. Al-riba, you know, the usury, the interest. All of these things are covered. That's why then at the end it tells us about علاقتنا بمن سبق آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. It's like a declaration that we believe in all prophets, all messengers, we respect all of them, we have full faith in all of them. Oh Allah, accept from us, oh Allah, etc. You know, that Surah Al-Baqarah, it's a constitution of life. And by the way, I'm not giving tafsir for a surah, I'm giving you just the idea about the main topics that are covered by Surah Al-Baqarah. Then we will try to cover. Now, to end in 5 minutes. Yes? New? لا no problem. أنا ما بدي أطول على الناس. خلاص يعني it's 50 minutes is good. By the way, from tomorrow, Isha will be 15 to 10. صح? 9:45. 9:45 the إقامة of the Isha إن شاء الله بإذن الله. طيب, conclusion يا أحبة. Can I make a conclusion like a quick question? Let me ask 2 or 3 of you very quickly. What is the most important thing that was stuck in your mind from today's session? Very quickly. يلا brief. نعمل تلخيص. The most important thing that really like this. Quickly. Just one point that is stuck in your mind from my talk today. One point.
You mentioned about Aqidah. There are certain things which are straight. There's no two things about it.
Yes.
And there are other things which have
The fixed, clear thing in our faith that is not negotiable. Not everything is relative. Good.
People always talk about, oh, let's do this, let's do that. You know, there are certain things which are just, as you very clearly explained,
Jamal.
not negotiable. Yeah.
Not negotiable. Not everything, but we have some certain thing not negotiable. Or otherwise, nothing we will have no sense for anything in our lives. Type, what else? Any point that was stuck in your mind? Yes, brother.
I think we have to really understand that إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. So this is like who you actually are. Like it's symbolic what you do. But we actually worship many different things, even we don't know. So maybe that's something probably we need to really think on.
Another important thing that brought his attention, basically the concept of إياك نعبد, because in reality, good number of us actually we are not applying this. We are applying something else because we are directing our hearts, ourselves to something else other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's make sure that when I say إياك نعبد, which means it's just you, Ya Allah, that I'm submitting myself to His will, to His law, to His teachings. It's not just a philosophy, it's not feelings, it's not a wishful thinking. Oh Allah, wallahi I love you, I love Allah. Okay. إن المحب لمن يحب مطيع. If you, but it's not my words. The meaning, قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله. It's not a wishful thinking, it's not a philosophy. If you love Allah, follow me and Allah will love you. That's why we always, in the Arab world, we have a very dangerous concept, terminology. It's called أصحاب القلب الأبيض. جماعة القلب الأبيض, سمعتوا فيهم? This is an Arabic terminology. بيقول لك the white-hearted people. So يقول لك شيخ, صح أنا ما بصوم, صح ما بصلي, صح مش محجبة, صح بشرب خمر, صح بعمل, بس أنا قلبي أبيض وما بكذب والله بيعرف. Okay, it's true that I don't do anything from Allah has commanded me, but I have a white heart, which means, and I don't say lies, and Allah knows my heart. So don't interfere between you, me, and Allah. Allah knows my heart. But practically, I don't obey Allah in anything He's commanding me. But Allah knows my heart. That's why we call them أصحاب القلب الأبيض. Ya Allah. يعني, they are going against the clear commandment of Allah. Allah says, قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني. Ya ilaha illallah. Those people, they are worshipping their desires. Actually, worshipping their desires. What else? In a few minutes, what else was stuck in your mind? Just
straight path is one, a straight path is
Jazakallah khair. The straight path is one. It's not 10 different ways. وكل من على دينه الله يعينه. It's a very dangerous terminology. No, there is one haqq and call others to act. Do your best with that. Don't be misled with this. Jazakallah khair. Type final? Yes, brother?
The Fatihah itself, like literally every one of us, even the smokers, knows what the Fatihah. At least we recite it 17 times a day.
Yeah.
Just pray. But when you recite it, like how many times you really make tadabbur for the
Yes, reflect upon it.
Reflect upon it. Dina sirat al-mustaqim. We can read Quran a lot. We can make sadaqah. But if God didn't guide us on the sirat,
Jazakallah khair.
will not guide us.
We let this, inshallah, conclusion be our final, and I will stop by this. We recite 17 times minimum, up to 27 or more than that. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. We keep declaring, oh Allah, guide us. This should teach us to be humble, that it's Allah who will help us, not anyone else, from one angle, and that it's my decision to submit myself as to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يرحمنا برحمته وأن يغفر لنا وأن يرحمنا ويتجاوز عنا. جزاكم الله خير. Thank you very much. See you next Tuesday بإذن الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.